Would you spend $7,000 for a gallon of gas? That's what happened to me during those rising gas prices during the Great Recession. So that's why I know about what people do when it comes to gas prices. Back in 2017, I bought a BMW 320 Ci coupe. It was the metallic green with the alloy wheels. I thought I would get the hotties and be driving around and looking real cool. But the only hottie in that car was my mom and a couple of friends most of the time. And during that time, when I first bought the car, gas was about $2.93. And I probably would have been better off, instead of buying a Beamer, better off just, I had just turned 40, so going through that little midlife crisis thing. So probably would have been better off going to a strip club in Vegas for a couple of weeks than buying a car. But I still bought the car. I remember back then gas was $2.93. So, and I was commuting about 150 miles to work each day to my house. So I ended up spending about, I was like averaging about $40 or $50 for a tank of gas per week. But then as hit the middle of 2007, the gas started to slowly creep up. It was 293, then it kind of ran up to 315, so I was okay, still had a little extra money, could handle it. And then the gas creeped up to 350. When it hit like 350 mark, that's when I started having issues. Like, oh man, because I only could put the premium gas in the car. And then and also in addition to I was paying a car, I was paying for a house. I also had to pay for a couple of duplexes because I was waiting on the tenants to send in their check. So before I could wait on their money, I couldn't wait on their money to come in. So I had to pay the note to keep it from defaulting. So as the grass started to creep up, it went from 355. When it hit the 419 mark, that's when I was in trouble, man. That's when I was spending about $100 to $150 a week. And I'm like, man, that's a lot of money going out, especially with all my other bills. Now I started to do what you guys done. I know you went by the gas station. I went by that gas station, went to Chevron the other day. $4.29 for a regular gallon of gas. So you can imagine us who drive these luxury cars, you're easily going to spend $4.39, $4.59. Because I tried putting the low grade gas in a Beamer, and it's a disaster. The emissions light come on, and also the car starts to drag. So you do it once or twice, man, I'm messing up the engine. I'm going to have to just eat it. So that's when I started, like some of you guys are doing now, shopping around. Okay, man, where can I get the cheapest gas? I know, let me look online. You be driving around. Oh, man, I don't want to pay $4.59 at Shell or Chevron. Hey, I found an independent gas station. I'm going to pay $4.19. Think you accomplished something driving. By the time you spent driving around for 5 or 10 minutes, then you got to deal with all these other people who are desperate for gas too. You got to wait behind them. Would have been better off just going to the Chevron station or the Shell station. You would have got your gas quicker and been less stressed. So, and I remember that's when I was just hunting around for gas. And I'm like, man, this sucks. So then that's when I started buying the gas additives. The gas additives were fine. That's when I joined Amway. That's when I started learning a lot more about cells and stuff. So the gas additives worked. It did give you an extra half gallon to 1 gallon of gas extra, but still, a gallon of gas is a gallon of gas. Putting the additive in is not going to make the gas become better. And my mistake was when you go buy the gas at these lower grade stations, they save their money on the shipping, but there is some difference in the refining. Now, at least with the more elite gas stations, they're doing their best to, even if they may lie to you, at least they're giving you the confidence that they're refining the gas, fixing it up, making it look good. But at the independent station, they're going to some refinery. They're cutting back on cost of deliveries. So there's a way. The reason why the gas is that cheap, it may be like a gas contract or something. Just giving you a little background. My grandfather used to work at a gas station. I worked at an AM PM, and I knew people who bought gas stations. So I know a little bit about the business. So I remember I used the gas additives, and then after a while, I started saying, okay, I think they say if you go down the hill, the car doesn't use gas. So then I'd come down the hill from my house, don't use gas for like a mile or two. Okay, that'll save me some gas. Let me cut back on the how fast I'm driving. So instead of going 75, because I know if you once I start hitting that 75 mark, which I shouldn't have been going that fast in the first place, that's when it just burned gas. And then on top of burning gas with those luxury cars, with that Beamer, it just killed. Those tires cannot go, those tires would not go over 30, 35,000 miles. They were done. You can look at them, the thread be going off and stuff. I'll tell you about one story how I broke down the freeway because of the high gas prices. I was trying to put off buying like tires for my car. And eventually the tires on my car both went out at the same time. And I was stuck on the freeway out here in like Banning. The Banning area just past the 60 cut off to the 10, waiting on a tow truck. So I was trying all these tricks, and then I said, okay, what else can I do to save on the gas? I'll increase the intervals until I'll wait till it gets to the E. I was dumb enough to say I'll wait till that little light comes on that says go get gas. Then I would go get gas. Other than that, I would just keep driving. I'm stretching the gas out. And then what started to happen, I had problems with the car starting. First it would be 3 or 4 times, then it'd eventually start. That went on for about a week, and I took it to the dealer and asked him, hey, could you check this out? Because I'm starting the car, but it doesn't, whatever, I'm trying to turn the car over, but it won't kick in or it won't ignite. So I did that. Then took it to the dealer, and that cost me $300. That's basically like $325, $340.90, $361 check, because they're going to check it. Hey, why don't you change the oil? Why don't you do this? And of course, I'm doing it because I'm thinking, that's weird. I've never had that happen before. And then it started to happen like the car was like, started to take 5 or 6 times to get the engine to turn over. I was like, man, that's really strange. Let me take it to another dealer to take a look at. So instead of going to the dealer, I bought my car in Los Angeles, so I took it to them to look at. Hey, man, I took it to the one BMW place. They didn't have any ideas. What do you think? Same thing. And then I kept stretching the gas. I mean, that's when gas almost peaked at about $4.59, $4.61. So I'm paying $300 a pop to get the car looked at. They can't diagnose it. My gas bill is shooting up to about it peaked to about $200 a week to get back and forth to home. And then finally I was cruising on the freeway. I said, okay, life is good. I took the car into the dealer. The day before they said everything was fine. So I'm cruising on the number 1 lane on the I-10 freeway, passing through Highland, just past the Beaumont Avenue area, hitting to Morongo, feeling good. All of a sudden the engine cut out, like no power. And luckily I was able to go from the number 1 lane all the way over to the shoulder. Thank God I didn't hit it. Thank God it wasn't like it was. If it was today, I'd be dead, because like I told you, diesel follows gas. So now all the trucks are all in the number 1. The number 1 lane was the lane closest to that inside barrier. Now all the trucks are the ones to the outside shoulder, like those far lanes, closer to the exit. I'd be dead, man, because all those trucks are just all in those lanes, and they don't even like stop. They're like trying to get to their destination because, hey, I gotta get to my destination, because now that diesel prices are going up, all these trucks are trying to make all of these deliveries right now. So it's crazy. So I cruised over to the shoulder. So I was in the shoulder, and then I had to wait 2 hours for the tow truck to come, because with the BMW, you can't put the BMW on, you can't, because it's a rear-wheel drive car. The Beamer has to be on a flatbed. So then took it to the dealer again, and they were saying, it looks like it's fine, and the car turned over. But I said, nope, I'm not going to take this car home until we can figure this out. So ended up staying in the dealer for about 2 weeks, man. I was asking, can you guys figure out what's going on and stuff? And finally we found out it was the fuel pump. Something must have, like the suction pump, and it blown on the fuel pump. And it cost me $7,000 to fix. So trying to save if I had just put 1 extra gallon in, instead of waiting on that orange light to come on and getting gas, if I would have saw that little, whatever, that little oil thing get close to that yellow mark or close to the empty mark where I know it would come on, I'd have saved myself $7,000. So by being cheap, by avoiding that one extra gallon of gas from $4.59 to the $4.69 price, ended up costing myself $7,000. So it took $7,000 and the car being in the dealer for about another 4 weeks before I had my car back. So I know some of you are driving these luxury cars and you like trying to skimp out on the gas and skimp out on the interval. Don't do it, man. I spent $7,000 I spent $7,000 on a gallon of gas. If I had only got that gallon of gas, I'd be $7,000 richer. So as I tell you, things are going to get worse before they get better, because you know when the Christmas season comes, you know that gas price is going up because they're going to use that special blend, save the environment. I'm 51. I really don't care about the environment right now, man. I see all these electric cars. They all want to be in the SUV. You let them get in the HOV lane and stuff, so that means emissions should be going down. My gas prices shouldn't be going up, man. Mr. Tesla, what's going on? So, Mr. Musk, hey, get your cars out the HOV lane and start paying your fair share. So, remember, I spent $7,000 on a gallon of gas for my 328 Beamer. If I'd only just spent that extra $4.59, I would have saved myself $7,000. So that's my story on what happens what crazy things you do when gas prices go up.